Good evening. Thank you all for joining me. This is Liz Whitaker, live with Divination Station, live on Three of Cups Divine Arts. I am just going to give everybody a few minutes to join in before I start the live. Hi, Emily. As you are joining in, please pop in. Tell me your name, tell me where you're watching from, and your pronouns. And if you want, let me know how you've been doing this week. Share as much or as little as you want. I know it's been this weird mix of social distancing, but everybody coming together on different social media platforms, which is great. Honestly, I've been seeing more lives popping up, getting to know people on my feed. Milwaukee, hello. I will refrain from the Wayne's World quote that I'm sure you've heard 1 million times. Jenna, hi. So yes, thank you for joining. I am sharing this out on some of my pages right now. If you do want to go ahead and share as well, go ahead and hashtag shared, and I will be sure to pull a card for you. I might do an oracle card. I haven't decided yet. So I think oracle cards right now are going to be a little bit of a little bit more of a kind of positive, like jump-starting message. I know we're all going through like the same challenge in different ways. So I haven't decided how I'm going to handle that yet, but we'll figure it out. Again, I'm just sharing it out to some places. Caitlin, hello. Thank you very much for joining. Again, I'm kind of getting it out here and sharing on my page. Okay. So, Carrie, hi, thank you. So today, again, give it a couple more minutes. As you're jumping on, let me know where you're calling from, how your week has been. Again, as much or as little as you want to say. I know there's been a lot. Again, we're all going through the same thing in different ways, different places. Perfect. Homeschooling. Love it. I have actually, at first I was like, oh, I'm going to work from home. I'm going to do like day job stuff during the day, and I'm going to get all this stuff done at night. And I've really been allowing myself to rest, which feels amazing. Hi, Ashley. And okay, I guess like real talk, rest, but I'm also packing to get ready to move. So I'm personally dealing with a lot of anxiety about having to move during, this very weird spot that we're in. I have plenty of seltzer, so that's good. So I found that, in between packing and moving kind of carload by carload over there, and the apartment's not quite ready yet. It'll be ready this weekend. So that's actually giving me a different set of anxiety. And I'm really allowing myself to, do day job, do my work there, and then, kind of pack in between and get stuff over to the new apartment. And I'm really allowing myself to rest in between and not really forcing myself to do too much. Like, oh, well, now that, now that I have all of this extra time, which I really don't, I'm going to, read this book or read that book or, do all of these things, do all of these very intricate rituals. And I mean, to be honest, a lot of my altar stuff's been packed away. A lot of my cards have been packed away. So I really have what I have in my office and, the boxes that I brought here. Conway, Arkansas, not doing as much cleaning as I need to. Again, with moving and kind of like clearing things out. Yeah, I think we're all kind of in that spot. We feel like we should be doing more than we are. But I really want to say, I think we also do need rest. I think we also do need to kind of take a break, take a breath, and not force ourselves to do, too much, and just allowing the amount that we're doing to be okay. Honestly, I haven't really felt compelled to watch as many of the lives as I was even watching before. Some challenges from witchy groups that I was really stoked to be a part of. And I've really kind of pulled back a little bit from that and really allowing myself to reset and recharge. And I think that's okay too, that we make it okay and let it be okay for ourselves to take that rest. Sarah, hi. Margie, hi. All right, Carrie. Okay, and then I believe, again, I'm really trying to keep up with the shareds, so do make sure you do the hashtag shared bit, and I'll know. If you are watching in a watch party, I don't believe I get the notifications for comments in those. So if you do want to watch, go to the Three of Cups Divine Arts. I just know Facebook's a little iffy with that. So why don't we get started? So I don't think that this card could have come at a better time. We're talking about the Tower. So last week, we talked about the devil. We talked about all of those expectations, society, building these expectations and being bound to them. And the Tower comes. I think, the entire world is living in a Tower moment right now. I know we've seen other things that have really affected on a global scale in the past, but this one really feels very persistent and like pervasive to everybody's life. And that's not to diminish, any of the disasters, any of the other epidemics, pandemics, diseases, anything else that have happened over the past, my memory. But it is, I feel, unique in that it is really touching each and every human on the planet. We're all kind of going through this Tower moment. Hi, Justin. We're all going through this moment together and separately. So it's this really weird mix of everybody is going through the same thing, but we're all going through it with our individual lens. We are looking through it as first responders, essential employees, and they have a much different perspective than I do. And I am 100%, the first one to say, I have privilege and that my job can be done from home, and not everybody's can. So their Tower moment is a little bit scarier than mine. I am in a place of, I have a home, I have another home that I'm going to, and I have my office. So I have choices, I have places, I have food. I can safely get to a place where I can get more. But again, not everybody's reality is that privileged. We do have people, and I'm really sorry. I'm really going to try to make this a little bit light. I don't usually get this heavy in my lives. And I do apologize going forward. It might get a little heavy because that's kind of where we're all at. Being essential is rough now. And it's not, so mini rant here. My mother is considered essential because of the place that she works. They do, in one sector, make things for defense vehicles. So her building is considered essential. She is also a part-time caretaker for my 96-year-old grandmother. So that's super fun. So, there's all of these like different individual slices of this big collective pie. Lauren, yes, exactly. We haven't had to do anything drastic. Okay. And so I am still working from home, which is good, because I can. It's a little bit different. My focus is a little bit different. But, so the tower moment is, to get back to the card, it is a drastic shift in everything that we know. Everybody has had personal tower moments. Michelle, hi. I know, Lauren. So that's where a lot of my anxiety is coming in right now with that. Again, collectively, we've had this tower moment. Individually, we've had tower moments before. Everybody's lost a job unexpectedly, or a relationship unexpectedly, or a loved one unexpectedly, or eviction, or your house is sold, or you're in a car accident that, really prevents life from going on as normal. We've all had them. They don't feel good. They very, very, very rarely feel good in the moment. It doesn't feel good in the moment right now. But it is forcing a lot of people to look at things differently, very differently. That's what the tower does. We're used to seeing it on an individual basis. And right now, we're seeing the entire world. Who is an essential employee? Who are the people that we basically owe our lives to on a kind of a macro and a micro level. We probably would have never thought, grocery store workers, or the truckers that are, the people that are transporting, the logistics that make sure that things get to where they need to go. They just kind of are there for a lot of us, right? They just kind of appear and awesome, they're there, I get them. We've kind of been in this like mindless state of things are just there when we need them. And the tower is really showing that that's not always the case. And it's really shifting how I think the world looks. I think in this country, we're really looking at how, again, I'm really trying not to get on any real rants here, but how capitalism in this phase, in this state, in this, phase in the game isn't necessarily working the way that really benefits the most. So again, I'm not going to soapbox. I'm not going to get on that. And yeah, but so the tower, looking at the card, we see, this gray tower and a dark sky. There's lightning, there's fire, there's flames, there's people that are falling out of the tower. The energy, those little dots, those flames are like the yods. I've spoken about them before. Thank you, Jenna. Exactly. Everything is a lesson, and we will get through it. We don't have a choice, really. Like, life just does go on, regardless of what happens, again, collectively or individually. Hi, Tina. Life, everything does move on, but we're not going to look at it the same way. I don't think really any of us are going to look at anything really the same way. I think it's going to shift gratitude a lot for a lot of us. I think a lot of us should be working on gratitude work. And yeah, so we have those figures falling, we have that, it really doesn't look like a pleasant card. And, a lot of, if you're not familiar with tarot and you get the death card, you get the devil, like those images are kind of iconic, right? We see those in a movie, we know something bad's going to happen. But anybody that does know, a bit about tarot, when they see that tower coming up, they know that that's a little bit more worrisome, because a transformation that comes with death can be a slower, it's still an uncomfortable transformation, but it's a transformation. It has phases. The Tower is just a moment of bam, everything is changed. So when, if you are familiar with tarot and you do get the Tower, then you have that oh shit moment. Tower moment's not always bad. Some people get the Tower when they're having, if you're in a relationship, a job you don't like, and you get the Tower. It's like, okay, so it's basically that idea that when that change comes, be ready for it. And if you don't make the change, the universe is going to do it for you, and it might not be the way that you want. So you can control, in a way, that transformation that comes with a death card. You can make that decision. The Tower, the universe has given you probably plenty of chances to switch it up, and you didn't. So then the Tower moment comes. I do see a few new people. So again, if you want to, tell me where you are, where you're located, say hi, say your pronouns. I'm Liz. I use she, her pronouns. I am in Buffalo, New York. And thank you for joining. If you do want a card at the end, just please hashtag shared. Type hashtag shared in the comments so I know. I'll do a check-in in a little bit just to make sure I get everyone. I really do my best to not miss anybody. So thank you for that. So that's the Rider-Waite-Smith Tower. And again, I really feel we are in a collective Tower moment. And you can feel free again in the comments to post, how you're feeling right now, how your week has been, if there's been anything particularly challenging, anything like that. This is your space. You are sharing this space with me, and I'm holding that space for you to really get out anything that you feel is proper to get out in this moment. So correspondence-wise, the Tower is represented by Mars. Mars is the planet of war. So Mars is the planet that it's active, it gets in there, it gets things done. It is fire. Most systems will have it represented as fire. I will be showing a card where it does have it shown as water and Scorpio, which I'll kind of talk a little bit about when we get there. So some keywords with the Tower: sudden change, a fall, hubris, ego, catastrophe, dismantling. Institutions are being dismantled right now, in my opinion. Institutions, that we kind of thought, that too big to fail, are really looking at, it's not a top down. The economy isn't as top down as the top would like to think. It has to be bottom up. My opinion. Again, my opinion. So I really think that there are things that have happened that will be challenging for everybody to move forward with. And maybe that's okay. Not right now. It doesn't feel good right now. Again, Tower moments don't necessarily feel good, but it's that aftermath that we start to, pick through the rubble is kind of we kind of look through, we pick up, we're going to key in on what's important. We're going to key in on what is important to us, what is important for us, and what is important for us to keep moving. And we'll look at that at the next card, and hopefully next week will be a little bit less heavy. But a lot of realizations come in with the Tower. It is a time to kind of move kind of slowly, carefully. There's a lot going on. They locked us. Okay. Okay. I am from New York. Okay. So I will make sure to be home by midnight. And Margie says a lot of people, yeah, who suffer from depressive episodes are it's so talking about that lower vibration. So again, right now the entire world is dealing with the same thing in different ways. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of healers, light workers, witches, any whatever you want to call what we do, have been really working together to raise that vibration, to really work together collectively to do what we can. Again, in our own way, the more that we do it, the higher we can kind of try to pull it up. That's why some of the lives I've seen have been for hope and healing. Everybody getting online at the same time, lighting a candle, saying a prayer, doing a spell. It's that collective action that will kind of raise that vibration of the universe. I am also I have a huge pragmatic streak, so I know that that's only going to do so much, because there's a lot going on that is literally out of our realm. We can raise our vibrations and collectively do what we can, and definitely do that. I'm never suggesting stop that. We all need to do, our work to raise that. But at the same time, if you don't have the energy right now because of depression, because of anxiety, don't push yourself to really tap out those reserves that you have. Use discernment with that. If you have the energy, great. Put it out there. Do it. If you don't, take a nap. Take a bath, eat some food, hydrate, take care of yourself first and foremost, and then share that energy. And I know, again, myself, I have been sleeping a lot more lately, and just kind of like boxing out. Listen to a lot of audiobooks and kind of really getting into that vibe. Hanging out with my cat a lot. That really helps me. But yeah, so it's a tough time for people, that do have, depression and anxiety, even, any like manic behaviors, anything like that. How do you generate energy? So Justin, how you can generate energy is, I'm going to say there's a few ways to do it, and it's very personal. Some people meditate. Some people light candles. Some people pray. What makes you feel like you are generating energy? For me, when I did do a small Ostara altar this week, I had held some candles out and I was using them specifically for this purpose. So I set the candles up. I lit them. I had my little, a little stuffed bunny that I had out for Ostara, and really kind of tapping into that energy. And that raises energy for me. I am a fire sign. My birthday is coming up. And so I'm real sorry for all the Aries out there that have to stay inside. It's hard. But I really feel, for me, fire makes energy, very literally. And for me, just watching that kind of alchemy of flame is energetic to me. Some people chant. Some people use their actual voice to put vibrations out in the universe. Some people drum. Some people play the singing bowls. Some people, burn incense. Some people, it's all very personal. But what you can do is find out what works for you. I've tried the singing bowls. I'm not particularly adept at them. Could I practice them? Absolutely. And if I feel called to, I will. Drums. Some people play the drums. That can be very powerful, to raise energy. Some people make crystal grids. I do feel drawn to crystals, and I do think that they can amplify the energy that's there. It's okay. You're watching. Just stick with me on Mondays and we'll be good. This Aries will be happy. So for me, crystals, like I have so many right at hand. This one is a white calcite. So to me, that has a very specific energy. I love this one. It's really cool. I just got it a few weeks ago. Celestite, to me, has a certain energy. This one has a very calming energy. So some people make crystal grids. Energy work is very different for everybody. So just kind of take a look around and see what works for you. Yeah, so that is the Tower. If anybody, has any questions or any, examples of what they feel a Tower moment is, or a Tower moment they have, thank you, a Tower moment they have gone through, again, please feel free to, kind of comment. We can talk about it. I do want to get into the decks that I go through every week. With this specific card, I am going to take this as a quick sponsor break, though. Divination Station is brought to you by True Paranormal, the podcast. Leo Rizzuti takes you on a journey into the supernatural with the mysterious, the strange, and things that simply cannot be explained. Join in by following True Paranormal, the podcast, on Facebook. You will be treated to spooky stories, tips for doing your own paranormal investigations, and interviews with paranormal investigators. Catch up with Leo every week on True Paranormal, the podcast. Yeah, so, Mary Lou, we are in deep within a conversation about the Tower. Justin, I just want to do a crystal shot. Yeah, honestly, I love just being around them. I love looking at them. They have amazing energy to me. I got this one too. It's Dumarite. I can't remember the name, but it's this beautiful, clear, very light pink, and it has these really great rainbow inclusions in them. And I just really love the energy from this. And this is like, so I'll look at them and I'll be like, this comes out of the ground. Like, how amazing is the earth? Anyway. So every week, once I do kind of go through the lesson with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, I show examples of that card in other decks. So Tarot de Marseille is the Tower. Again, you have that same, that familiar image of the Tower with the top blown off. Looks like wind and lightning. And then you have all of that energy kind of falling off, and you have the two people going towards the ground. So again, with the Tarot de Marseille, we look at the colors. And these are, each figure is wearing wearing every different color. So that means all of the energies are encompassed in those figures. The passion, the calm, the grounding. So that is the Tarot de Marseille, which is one of the oldest kind of images of the decks that we have that is kind of still used today. Another deck that we do look at every week is the Thoth deck, which was exactly, Mary Lou. So the crystals have their own energies, but they also have the energies that we give it. So this is the Thoth deck, again, kind of written by Aleister Crowley. Lady Frida did the paintings and the illustrations. So this one's very intense, as the Thoth is wont to do. So here we have, it takes a little bit to kind of take it all in, right? So we have that central tower figure here. We have that central tower figure. We have the figures kind of coming off the end, but they're a little bit more geometric and representative. They're not necessarily realistic like we see most places. We see that kind of all-seeing eye up there. The universe causes the tower moments, provides the tower moments. It is the force behind them. And then we have the dove of peace going off that way. Then we have we have the dragon or the snake, which is representative of transformation as well. And the dove of peace kind of goes out. And really is that, to me, just seeing that right now, yes, it is, absolutely, based on the biblical Tower of Babel. So that dove of peace up there, what I see is it's taking off, meaning that the universe, yes, will shake us up, will shake everything up. But in the end, that dove of peace is there to show us that olive branch, to let us know that, land is in sight. We are almost there. So we have to, really hold hope in our hearts that we will come to that conclusion. The card itself is full of reds and yellows and oranges, which are all fiery energies. And down here, it looks like there's these flames coming out of like a dragon's mouth, but we only see the teeth. We only see the most scary part. So this is a very evocative image for the tarot, or for the tower in the tarot. We have these very jarring images. And this is the Thoth deck. I do kind of like how it has that, the all-seeing eye, the third eye up at the top. And I like the feeling that I like the idea that kind of gives is that, it is from the universe. And no matter what we do as, humans on this earthly realm, we can't control those tower moments. And of course, down there we have the symbol for Mars and the Hebrew letter attached to the tower. And now, so every time that we do, this broadcast after the Rider-Waite-Smith, I do go into a bit with these two, because they are the three tarot systems that you're going to see most people, or most decks, kind of draw from, at least in some way, shape, or form. And then Tarot of the Cat People. So this one, the tower, is actually a large building, a large monument of a cat. And then, we see it almost looks like it's hit by an asteroid. This one doesn't really look to me like it's an explosion. This one looks like it was hit by an asteroid, which again is that, the power of the universe, the power of the galaxy, really. And then we have the figures falling down, but it almost looks like they're in a almost protective bubble. So yes, they have been forcibly ejected, from their tower. But it looks to me like they are in this kind of like bubble of energetic protection, that as they are falling, once they hit the ground, including the cats, they will land on their feet. Even if it doesn't feel like it initially, eventually things will right themselves. And I did want to bring out some other decks to kind of review. The tower imagery is fairly similar through most decks, so I'm going to kind of go through some of them fairly quickly, because there isn't a lot different. A lot of tower cards really show that same imagery. So in the White Sage Tarot, here we have the tower. We just see that cracked tower, and it looks like it's almost sinking. So this one looks like it's sinking into the water. It's not quite as violent, but we do still get the energy and the idea that there is something going on. There is something going on that, wasn't planned and isn't good. So is a tower considered a bad card? It has negative connotations. When you are getting a reading and you know anything about tarot, you start to see the tower as, as something negative, because it's a change. It's a drastic, immediate change, and not all of us want or welcome that change. I don't necessarily think any card is good or bad. They all have two meanings. They all have two sides. So I was, referencing earlier, if you are in a situation that you are uncomfortable with, that is not in alignment for you, and you get the Tower card, I've seen people that get excited at that Tower card because it does mean change is coming. The Tower can be an uncomfortable card, but I wouldn't consider it a bad card. And that's only because any card has energies that can be good and bad. Even cards, that most people think of as good cards. Maybe, I'm thinking of, the Sun, which we'll go over in a few weeks. The Sun is all happiness and optimism, but some people look at the card and the imagery and think it's very intense. I'm one of them. I look at that card and it just feels too much. So to me, when I see the Sun, I'm like, ooh. So every card, has good and bad. It just means that things might be uncomfortable for a little bit. And some people don't want that or don't like that, especially if you are in a spot where you think you're good and you have everything you want and or need. The Tower has a really good way of coming in and saying, yeah, but this. So it really makes us question what our foundation was. So it can be uncomfortable. This one is the Barbara Walker Tarot, so House of God. So I believe, Mary Lou did mention Tower of Babel, and this is based on that. So again, same imagery. This time we have the cross on the top instead of the crown. We have the lightning, we have the people falling. It's a little bit more simple, a little bit more straightforward. We don't have a lot of the stuff going on in the sides, but that idea is there. Modern Witch Tarot. Again, very similar imagery. We have the people falling. We have the crown. The tower is on fire. And this one is, my mind drew a blank, Star Child. This is from the Star Child. And this one is the Tower as well. So this one, there's nothing really falling, but it really gives the idea of those two sides. We have the dark, we have the light. We have the lightning coming down. And we have someone kind of sitting there, and she's kind of looking behind her. So this one to me is really kind of evoking the feeling of almost illumination. Yes, there is a Tower moment. There is a moment where what we knew is no longer. But sometimes it can get to the bottom of what we really need and who we really are. And that is kind of like the emotional undercurrent of the Tower. Yes, everything is different. Everything looks different, but also everything feels different. And that is really, really shown in this version of the Tower. Some decks soften it up a little bit. This is the Good Tarot. Of course, the Good Tarot does kind of pull the fear out of some of those cards that are technically, or that are traditionally scary looking. So this one is the Tower as well. And this one does not show any of that destruction. It shows illumination from behind. So knowing what the Tower means when you pull this or see this in this deck, you know that it means change, transformation. But if you see the card, it is almost like illuminating from within. So it's a different take on it. It's a different, it's a bit of a softer way to get that idea across. Mythic Tarot. I really want to get my hands on the Mythic Tarot, to be honest. I've seen a couple marketplaces have the one from 83 or 6 or whatever it is, and I really want it, but I'm not really in the position to purchase a vintage tarot deck right now. But I would love to see pictures if you want to post any. Just saying. So the final card that we're going to talk about today is from Next World Tarot. This one is it is to me where we are right now. This one is called Revolution. This one does say it's water and Scorpio, but Mars as well. Scorpio is also ruled by Mars. It's a secondary ruler, but it's there. So what does that mean? That means we are getting to the bottom of things. We are getting to the root. We are pulling things up from that root. So this card here really shows the negative effects that the industry, that corporation, that capitalism has had on the world. It says defend the sacred. So what does that mean? Is oil sacred? Is a corporation sacred? Is money sacred? Or is family sacred? Is gardening sacred? Is having control of your own destiny sacred? And I really think that this card really captures where we are right now. And I was actually getting like goosebumps when I pulled this card. I knew I had to show this deck. So yeah, I'm just going to let this hang out here for a little bit. I'm going to let you think about it. Because maybe it's what we need. Just saying. And Margie, it might be because it isn't a live. I mean, you can feel free to message me at any point with that. So just a real quick disclaimer here with that. My opinions are my own. If you don't agree, don't hold it against Three of Cups, Divine Arts. It's all me. But yeah, that's kind of really where I'm at and where I'm feeling right now. If you have shared, right now I have Carrie, Jenna, Caitlin, Ashley, and Tina as sharing out. If you did, and I didn't just read your name, please comment #share, #shared, and I'll make sure to get you a card. Tarot tip is jumpers. So what does that mean? So when you are shuffling a card, or when you're shuffling your deck, and a card just jumps out, at what point, do you use it as, so if I'm shuffling here, let's see if I can get it to, so if I'm shuffling, and a card just kind of pops out, so we'll say this one pops out. What do we do with that? If I'm doing a one card pull, I'll use it. If I'm doing a full spread and one pops out, what I'll do is I'll put it at the top and I'll say this one jumped out. It has a particular meaning that you need to know. It has a particular message that you need to know right now. I'll put it at the top and then I'll pull the rest of the cards. I don't usually use it as like that first card. Tracy, hi. I don't usually use it as that first card, but it's an energy that person or myself, we need to hear. So I will hold it out. If you're shuffling and a big chunk falls out, no, that's that's just, you know, I can't shuffle the cards, or I'm having a difficult time shuffling. But if you are shuffling and a card pops out, use that card. If you're doing a 1-card reading, use it for that 1-card reading. Use it, put it at the beginning, put it at the ends. But when a card just kind of pops out, pay attention to that. I've had certain days, you know, if I'm doing an event where, you know, a card pops out for several different people. So sometimes it's that day. Sometimes it's something I need to hear. So that's kind of my tarot tip of the day. Before I do get into card pulls, again, if you did share and I did not just read your name, please share and hashtag shared in the comments. I will share my personal, my business page. It is Divination Station Tarot. I am currently taking appointments for virtual readings. We can do a Facebook video chat. I can also set up a Zoom meeting. If you have an iPhone, we can do a FaceTime. You know, I'm really flexible with the method of reading. But I would love to continue booking my time with those readings. So if you do want a reading with me, also going to share, there is an event that's going on right now and I'll get that event posted as well. It is a virtual psychic fair, and that is through the Healing Brew virtual psychic fair. If you do follow 3 of Cups Divine Arts, just run through the page. It'll be right there. And what that is there are so many different readers, healers, makers, vendors, anything, and we're all sharing our offerings in a virtual psychic fair. I'll probably pop on there and do a quick live after this just to see what's going on over there. So you can book in using that event. Contact me, just mention that event, and you'll get it's $1 a minute rates. So 15 minutes, $15, 30 minutes, $30, etc. And that again is the Healing Brew Virtual Psychic Fair. And I'm gonna, go ahead and get my page on this live. So y'all can like it if you haven't already. And as always, if you do like what you hear, definitely feel free to hop over, give me a quick review or recommendation on the page. That is always appreciated, and it really does help. All right. So just added Tracy. I think I'm debating doing oracle cards for the pull instead of tarot, just to again give a little bit of. I'm thinking of doing the Universe Has Your Back oracle. Because I think we really can all kind of use a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a, thanks for bearing with me as I adjust myself here. I think we can all use a little bit of an uplifting message. Yeah, let's spice it up. If you do really feel pulled to a tarot reading, just comment, in there. If you did share, just comment tarot. I'm definitely also happy to do that. But I think I am called right now to use this oracle deck, and again, just kind of put a smile on your face. And if you do have any questions, anything like that, I'm always available through the Divination Station messenger. You can message me, message my personal one, add me. I don't care. I'm fine with it. All right, so I'm going down in order. So Carrie, this is for you. My fearless freedom lights up the world. So even in times of stress, you have that inner light and that optimism that really is kind of is infectious. Too soon, I'm sorry. But it really does kind of light up a room and really helps everybody else around you to kind of up level a little bit. So we were talking about raising vibration and generating energy. You kind of have that energy generating power. That doesn't mean you have to do it all the time. That doesn't mean that you are an energy dispenser. That doesn't mean that someone can come up to you and say, good feelings, please, and you have to dispense them. Because that is energy draining. Energy vampires do that. It is not your job to give it on demand. People are around you and they support you. They just give it. And it's not exhausting. It's that energy exchange. So again, that was for Carrie. And go ahead and drop any feedback that you have about these in here in the comments. Because like I said, it's kind of new for me to do the Oracle card on this particular show. I do lives on Resourceful Raven. If you're not part of that group, just do a quick Google search. It's a sister group to Three of Cups Divine Arts. Or do a quick search in Facebook. I do lives there on Wednesday nights. And it's more reading based. So I do more readings there. Generally, again, the one card pulls, and you can join me, like my page. You'll see I'm doing Witchy Wednesdays. Generally, I'm at Rising Goddess on Wednesdays, but the world is weird right now. So I'm posting from the Rising Goddess Facebook page with a little bit of a, witchy tidbit. What I got going on, kind of looking at spells, looking at herbs. I mean, really, it's probably going to be whatever I'm working on in that moment, is quite honestly what it's going to be. Jenna, spicing it up. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. So what that means to me is how I'm feeling personally, how you're feeling, what's in here, that motivation, that drive, that tenderness, anything that's here gets reflected here. It's again, that energy exchange. Where I'm at, the world meets me. So I know, there was someone had mentioned the world right now is kind of at a lower vibration. So rising the vibration raises the universe to meet us. So again, let me know how that resonates. My outer experiences are a reflection on my internal condition. So to me, I'm also seeing gratitude. If I look at the world, Divination Station is my personal page. Rising Goddess is a shop local to Buffalo, New York that I read from and that I do classes out of and also do lives from the page. And I know she also does, so it's a witchy shop. She's got herbs, she's got decks, she's got supplies. So if there is anything that you are looking for in particular, head over there, have a chat with her. She's actually probably in the comments somewhere. Her name is Tina. Hi, Tina. So you can pop over there and like that page as well, and you'll find me too. So I lost my train of thought. Pulled out of the station. Okay. So anyway, Jenna. Caitlin, is next? Oh, I also realized I forgot to turn off my meditation music. If that was loud or distracting, let me know, and I'll just make sure to not have it on again. But I just realized it was. Okay. Caitlin. Happiness is my birthright. You deserve to be happy. We all deserve to be happy. We're not born to suffer. We're born to face and weather challenges. And really what that allows us to do is to distill what truly makes us happy. And that can kind of be a hit or miss. That can kind of be, it takes some time, but happiness is overall, happiness is your birthright. And I kind of love this card. I like the galaxy and the moon in there. You're welcome. Ashley. All right, Ashley, two stuck together here. So we're going to say I am the dreamer of my dream. So, and when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. So with this one, what is your dream? You know, what do you really want? No one else can do that for you. No one else can set that expectation for what your dream should be. And when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about how I see the world. Again, gratitude. When we truly kind of lean into gratitude and faith that the universe does have our back, we kind of tend to see things a little bit differently. We tend to see doing a gratitude journal, doing gratitude every day, really does change how the world looks and feels. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't been doing it. I do it in my more like business related planner, and I haven't been doing it. My routine, I would do it at work when I get to work. I don't go to work. You know, I'm working from home. So that part of my routine is kind of taken out of the equation. I haven't been doing it. I haven't been looking at my planner. You know, I haven't been. And, you know, has it been, you know, really kind of coloring my views and what's happening to me? I don't doubt that. I think like I said, I have been kind of like numbing out in a box, just kind of doing what I need to do, listening to an audio book and kind of like tuning out the rest of the world, which is an important step for me right now in managing anxiety. But this is a good reminder that no matter what, like I still need to do my gratitude work. I need to do the work. I need to show up. I need to do the work. All right, and Tina, if you are still on here, and I know there's been a lot of connectivity issues with Facebook and, you know, the internet overall, because everybody's working from home. and everybody's doing Facebook Lives and reaching out and building community, which is great. It really is. Tina, I surrender to a power that is greater than me. So it is that surrender that actually gives us the freedom to kind of move forward. It's knowing, acknowledging, and accepting that we cannot control everything. And, you know, I am an Aries, and to me, if I can't control everything, then I can do what I'm doing right now, which is pull back, retreat, and just sort of like holding pattern for a little bit until I can step back into my power, is what kind of came down for me right there. But the truth is, that's control is not my power. Gratitude is my power. Putting my energy out is my power. So I surrender to a power greater than me. When you realize that circumstances are not there for you to control, we can truly live in the moment. And I think these have helped me, so I'm hoping they help y'all. And Tracy. And I am really sending love and energy and light and healing to absolutely everybody right now, to people that, you know, are putting themselves out there for themselves, for their family, for everybody. Again, this is first responders, this is medical workers, this is anybody that is deemed necessary to work right now. I really am sending, you know, just really protective, like white light bubbles around you. Yes. All right, so Tracy. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So this, you know, again, when we really look at the world and know that, hey, things are going to work out. I appreciate and love my life, what I have, who I have. Then thank you. Thank you very much. Gavin, hi. Yeah, you absolutely can. So, yeah, so overall, right now, like I said, I know we're all going through the same challenge on an individual level. And that doesn't even, you know, count all of the, you know, other challenges that were already going on in everybody's lives. I know a few people here just from, yes. And that's kind of why I felt pulled to these cards, because I know that we all could use a little bit of a pick-me-up right now. And like I said, I know some of the challenges just from getting to know you on this broadcast. There are some that I know like personally, and I have been, you know, right alongside you with your challenges and your struggles for a while now, and celebrating your successes and your happiness. So it really, I really do want to thank you all for joining me. And I was just talking about cards that jump out, and Gavin, this one jumped out for you. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I recognize that I have chosen fear, and I choose again, I choose love. So what that means is we all at some point have been pulled to that side where fear reigns. It can be right now, you know, with everything. It can be on a micro level. of like our own lives, our own struggles and challenges. Fear it's okay. It is okay to look at a situation and say, that scares me. That's okay. But then what do? You don't live in that fear. You can't live in that fear sphere. I'm so sorry. What we do is we see that fear. Okay, got it. Now what? What happens if I choose love? What happens when I choose gratitude? What happens to that fear? What happens to that? And I think we can pull in on those powers. We pull that in, we pull that down, and they have an effect on fear. We can recognize that fear. It's okay. It's part of being human. We all have things that are absolutely rational fears. And then we all have our own little weird idiosyncratic fears. Mine's stepping on broken glass. I hate it. I hate thinking about it. It's terrifying. But I know that fear is not a big deal, and it's not really relevant in most life. So, I can kind of push that down. Margie, nope, I'll get you next. Tracy, I know, I pulled this and I'm crying. So this is for you, Gavin. It jumped out for you. So when you are kind of looking at something that's a bit scary, know that it's okay, but really kind of pull in, take a breath, and, look at love. Look at, how can we move through this? Margie, I'll get you. Again, if I did not pull a card for you and you did share, please go into the comments and hashtag shared, and I'll get you. Just kind of remind me. I really do my best to try to keep up. All right. I did go over time a little bit today, and I think that's okay. Yeah, it's all right. All right, so Margie, you got the same one. Pulled the same one for you. So everything I just said is also for you. So we, I think collectively and individually, I know I need to start my gratitude journal again. I need to get back into my routine of getting my planner out. And even though I had plenty of things planned for the next couple weeks that were canceled or postponed, I still need to move ahead. I still need to move forward. In the Healing Arts virtual psychic fair, I am going to be doing what was going to be a lecture or a talk. Yes. But I'm going to do it I'm going to have a condensed version on there, and it's going to be on gatekeeping in the tarot. So how can spirituals, how can healers, how can light workers, witches, how can we present ourselves in a way that is approachable, and how can we not gatekeep? So keep an eye on that. I haven't scheduled it yet, but again, I need to get back on my routine. Yes, so that's perfect. So again, I want to thank you all from my heart, from my heart space, from my heart chakra. I really did need this today, and I really hope that everybody that did join me really could take away something from this collective tower moment that we are all experiencing together. I really hope that I could bring you a little bit of levity, a little bit of happiness, even though I did get a little deep on there, but I don't think it can be avoided right now. So again, if you want to book a virtual appointment with me, anything like that, go ahead, reach out to me. I'll be popping up here and there, Divination Station Tarot. I'll be live in that event. If you click going and kind of turn on the notifications, you're going to get so much content. It's going to be amazing. Again, everybody's, a lot of people are in there doing lives, introducing themselves. I'm meeting a ton of new people. So I'm grateful for that. I do want to say thank you for joining, and I love you all. So virtual, socially distanced hugs, and thank you so much. And definitely join me. Join me next Monday, if not later this week. I'll see you. All right. Thank you. Be safe. Everyone be safe out there. Okay.